The Padres have gotten away with grand larceny. They've committed a great heist. They've robbed the major leagues, whatever you want to call it. Stephen Kolek is a steal officially, and I think maybe the best Rule 5 draft pick that the Padres, or maybe any franchise, maybe not any franchise, but let's focus on the Padres. I think he's the best Padres Rule 5 draft pick. Let's talk about that and everything that he is up to so far through 2 major league starts. What's going on, everybody? I'm Christian Pedersen, back with another episode of Padres Digest. Thank you very much for tuning into the show where I, just a random dude on the internet, ride emotionally shotgun with you through the season. If I could do the one thing of YouTube-ish isms, could you hit the subscribe button? Last time I will ask. All right, gonna go back to show you this. And you probably have seen this stat line. This is from start number 2 for Stephen Kolek. This is a couple of days old. I know that the game reaction is not the story here. Like I said, I want to talk about what I have kind of absorbed post-game of thinking about it and living with it for a day or two. And this came up in one of the group chats. I'm sure you guys all have a Padres group chat out there that you are part of, where you discuss your every musings of it. And it came up that is Stephen Kolek, or not even is, the person that put this out there in the group chat said it definitively that Stephen Kolek is the best San Diego Padres Rule 5 draft pick of all time. And it got me sort of just digging down a wormhole of numbers. And for those of you that maybe don't remember or have not paid close enough attention to the actual specifics of the numbers, but have just heard the name Stephen Kolek brought up on social media or something, here was start number 1. So you can see from a complete game, so it goes 14 and a third innings right now, and has not allowed a run in 2 major league starts this year. He has pitched as a reliever previously, so there is, this is not his major league debut, but this is his debut as a starter in the role that the Padres want and need him to play. And so far through 2 games, I don't want to hear any, it was the Rockies, it was the, no, let's just focus on the takeaways here. 0 runs, 11 strikeouts, 4 walks. The number of strikes thrown percentage-wise is high, and he's doing it with a fastball and a sinker. And if you need to split those 2, you can. I think that a fastball is largely thrown like a sinker. His has a good deal of movement, but he, the way that you would kind of say that Michael King has the 2 of those merge into be fastball percentages, Stephen Kolek is a very much just attack the zone, throw a ton of strikes guy. And for what we're looking at of needing somebody to fill the 4-5, the 5, the 3 through 5, depending on how you dice it up on the tribe seems to be pretty split this year on Cease. Is he good or bad anymore? Maybe we got the best of him and have seen it in the rear, and also in terms of how much we're going to get back from you, Darvish. But let's call it the 4 or the 5 spot for that starting rotation. This guy, through 2 games, it's hard to extrapolate out, is going to go 14-2 and be an all-star and everything. He might have some regressions. Teams will see him a second time in terms of some of our NL West opponents. Okay, great. Maybe there's a little bit of a regression there. But when the Rule 5 thing came up, I was like, let's take a look. Let's see kind of where everybody is. I didn't really know a deep history of who the top Rule 5 picks are. And that might be something that's maybe a little inside baseball for you guys. For those of you that are unfamiliar with what the Rule 5 draft is, it's a secondary draft in the Major League Baseball calendar where you got the primary one where you can pick high school, international, college, whatever. The Rule 5 draft is where you can select from other franchises' rosters. There are the 40-man protected rosters. You can lock in some guys and exclude them from the draft, but largely you can pick from any levels of the minor leagues and just grab up guys, and the deal is that they just have to be on your major league squad by a certain date. Then you retain them. If not, you send them back to their original team. Some weird finagling there that it's not like every team is drafting a bunch of Rule 5 guys ever, but it's a thing that we do enough that you would think that maybe the Padres would have a couple of good names, a couple of other guys where you're like, it's a fun, we got to have look, they've been good at this sort of thing. Nope. I kid you not. Google did not come back with it. Google was like, are you sure we don't really have anything? Digging deeper, Everth Cabrera is probably the best in terms of just the statistical contributions and quality of time served as a Padre. This one I thought was kind of funny. Good baseball player. You're never going to guess it. Put it in the chat, 3-2-1. Let me know. All right, here you go. Did you know that Shane Victorino was a Padre via the Rule 5 draft? The Flying Hawaiian. We missed out on promoting that one to the major leagues. So if anything, we had a guy in the building who wound up being a great contributor to several world championship runs throughout his career. We had him in the building, then we let him go. But it's Everett Cabrera and Stephen Kolek. And Kolek, maybe you can say, 2 games, Christian, you're being hyperbolic. Okay, maybe. But also, we need a 5-starter. We don't need an ace. We want an ace as your 5, but you just need a guy that throws strikes, moves the season forward, is not a net negative. So if we go from throws strikes, moves the season forward to looking at, if you didn't add up the numbers, here are just Kolek's full stats for the season so far through the 2 games. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty elite. You'll take that from any 5-starter in baseball. So that's where I think he is shocking everybody. He is outperformed. He's obviously doing way better in the immediate here and now context of the actual 2 games, no runs, all that kind of stuff. But I think he's also shocking more because he's a Rule 5 guy, and he's a guy that technically another team did not see enough in him to have him on their protected status, and instead we wind up with this, and I love it. And it's good also, sometimes this is a world of online hyperbolic cultisms of certain people make it seem like this guy's really getting gassed up or so-and-so is really having a down year or whatever, but largely clubhouses can tune out a lot of that noise. We are somewhat of our own little universe over here on all that, but it's nice to see that Mike Shildt is talking publicly about how even with guys coming off of the IL, and I know that that's not quite as directly applicable to the pitching staff, but just with moves being made, discussions being made about guys who are standing out, and it's nice to see that management and the front office is seeing this, and I would hope that means that developing Stephen Kolek is a priority thing. Not that Ruben Abel and company don't want to develop everybody into all sorts of all-stars, but you have only so much bandwidth, I'm sure, as a staff that you can get done in terms of accomplishing who you're working with and how much you're getting done proportionally to how much you want to get out of that guy. So if Stephen Kolek can be somebody that the team can believe in and we can run him out there through good, through bad, through everything and the growing pains right now, I've seen some comments saying he's another future. We don't need to get that far, but just the fact that we can go King, Pivetta, Kolek, sprinkle in Darvish, Musgrove in terms of the longer term vision of all of this. It gives you that flexibility to let Cease go, or at the end of the season to not be hurt as much by his departure, even if you are the Padres actively participating in the free agency. So just kind of some interesting stuff there. And like I said, to close it out, I do definitively think that we can give him an addition even through 2 starts. Let me know in the comment section if you disagree, but through 2 starts, I want to already give him the crown as the GOAT of our Rule 5 picks that we've ever got. All right, that's all we got for this one, but we got tons of other content coming about all things pitching, health, hitting. We got post-game recaps now also on Padres Digest, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave a comment, leave a like, send a share, whatever the other verbs are. We'll talk to you guys soon.